On tonight's show, we have entrepreneur and business owner of Stripper Fitz, Pehlla. And now for your host, KoolKard.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 161 of the KoolKard Show. I am your host, KoolKard. Thank y'all for tuning in. You know where to find me. I'm here every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Happy New Year, if I have not told you. I don't know if I told you that last episode, but Happy New Year. I hope you're bringing in the new year the right way and the real way of not doing resolutions and just being more of what you already were. You know what I'm saying? And just focusing, getting a little laser focus on life. But yo, thank y'all for tuning in. If this is your first time, I do want you to subscribe so you can come on here and get this knowledge, get the gems, get the value that my guests bring on here. I'm so grateful for all the guests that bless me on this show. They don't have to be on here, but they do. They give me their time, and they give me their energy, and they give me good conversations. And I do it for you guys. Like I always tell you, I do this for you. Can't do it without you. This is for you guys, all right? Just bringing some knowledge, doing my part in the ecosystem for you guys, giving you some free information. This is like a free intro, knowledge-based platform, if you want to call it. You know what I mean? I don't ask for nothing in return. Just your viewership. That's it. But listen, tonight I have an entrepreneur. I have a businesswoman. She goes by the name of Pehlla. She owns a business, brick and mortar. It's called Stripper Fitz. And I know you probably wonder, Stripper Fitz? Well, yeah, exactly what it sounds like. Stripper Fitz. We are going to talk about the exotic dancer industry and fashion. And honestly, I always thought like lingerie. I thought dancers just bought lingerie. I didn't really know that it was a whole big industry of exotic dancer fashion and wear. So we're going to dive into this and see how she got into the business and just get her perspective on business and how she even launched her store. Because, I mean, a lot of people have boutiques. A lot of people still selling on Instagram. And that's cool. Everybody starts somewhere. But she actually has a brick and mortar store. All right? So you can learn some things. So please stay tuned. Let's bring on in. It's Pehlla, y'all. Let's get it. Welcome to the show, Miss Pehlla. How you doing tonight?
All right, KK, what's up?
Oh, ain't nothing. Just kicking it with you, you know. Yes, indeed. Well, listen, thank you so much. Like I was saying in the intro, man, I really appreciate you just giving me your time and your energy and coming on for a good conversation because you didn't have to be here, but you are here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here kicking it with your boy Kool. All right? So thank you for that. And I like to start my show, every show, with a prayer. So I just have to ask you, are you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. I got to ask because everybody's faith is not the same, but we're going to get it right now. All right. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, we just thank you for this time, for this moment in time. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, we just thank you for Pehlla just lending us her time, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, and her conversation and her knowledge, and just allowing us to shine a spotlight on her and her business, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus. We just thank you for waking us up this morning. We thank you for life. We thank you for love. We just thank you for allowing us to make it through another year. We just thank you, Lord Jesus, for all the gifts that you bring us, for all the love and the light that you shine down on us, Lord Jesus. We just give you all the victory, all the glory, all the love, all the praise. We pray and ask for a great show, and once again, a great conversation, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, and just have your presence and your energy available at all times, Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus. In your name we pray. Amen.
All right, thank you.
Yes. So, welcome. Finally got you on the show. So, I just
Yes.
and I really want to learn about this industry you're in because it's a niche market, and I'm honest. I'm be honest to you, like I didn't really know that there was a market for it. I just thought dancers wore lingerie, you know. I thought they would, you know, and I know they have like Frederick's of Hollywood and all that type of stuff, you know, the little kinky lingerie stuff. So I just thought they shopped there and, you know, did what they do. But you actually have a brick and mortar business where you specialize in this fashion industry. How long have you been doing this?
Ooh, I've been making exotic dance wear since the 90s.
The
But
90s, for real?
yeah, sewing by hand and all that kind of stuff. The late 90s. And then when I moved down here to Atlanta, I've been doing it since 2014. um, out the house, and then 2019 is when I got the brick and mortar. So,
Wow. Okay.
but
Okay.
the industry is a part of the clothing industry. It's as old as the clothing industry.
Did not know that. Did not
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
I don't frequent the strip club. I don't, I'm not it, I mean, I've been,
Mhm.
whatever, yeah, just time to time, but I just never really knew. And if I thought about it, maybe, but I just never really thought about it. I just thought they wore lingerie. Because I mean, when we're in there, I mean, to be honest with you, we're not looking at what they wearing.
Right, right. Sometimes because exotic wear came from strip teasing, and
Okay.
then they made a sport out of it,
Okay.
competition.
Oh, so
Um,
like the whole
so
burlesque
you
thing and
had
all that, right?
that and regular competitions like North against the South, East against the West, where the girls would dance on the floor and
Uh,
flip and split. And so
okay.
it started to become active wear,
Okay.
like full contact wear, not just wearing robes and the stocking outfits that they're currently doing.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
contact sport. So it was more like swimwear, athletic wear.
Okay, okay. Yeah, never knew
Yeah.
that. That is very interesting. And you know what? I do recall, like when I first moved to Atlanta, I do recall, you know, when I was in the streets a little bit, I do recall uh
Okay.
seeing like some flyers or something about a competition down in Miami. So like the strippers from out here would go down there and like have a
Yep.
dance off and all that type of stuff. So yeah, okay. All right. So it's
Yep. Yep.
coming back to me a little bit. But I
You
didn't
know,
know. Go ahead.
and you do perform like the era, in the early 2000s, girls was
Mhm.
wearing capes, top hats. They were dressing up like the showgirls in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
They had a contest called Miss Black Nude
Okay.
back home in DC, and you won like $5,000 and stuff like that. And they judged you from your costume, your performance, just a whole beauty pageant.
Okay. Now, here's
Yeah.
here's a question. Now, I don't you weren't here during Freaknik, right? Were you down here? You weren't down here, right?
No.
Or did you come back and forth or anything like that, or had you ever experienced it?
Yeah, I came back and forth. I experienced it 1 year.
We ain't gonna them dark eyes are telling on you, girl. So we gonna them dark eyes telling on you a little bit. But what I want to know is, were you familiar with like that scene then? Like, was it like real big back then, where they would have the competitions, and would that kind of be like an event for that whole week? Would there be events during the week?
Yeah,
Is what I'm asking.
Atlanta has always been the Mecca. Atlanta has always been the Mecca as long as I've known, as long as I've been an adult traveling back and forth here. It's
Okay.
always had the dancers and the clubs and stuff like that. It's just now recently then stepped this game up
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
with
This is
everybody else.
strip club haven right here. Like this is yeah.
Hmm.
People. I mean,
But
people
I'm
think.
saying girls do more now. They do a lot more now. Back home where I'm from, we would perform on the floor and the
Mm,
stage, and the Atlanta girls down here, they would just stand and, look cute.
okay, got you. Now let's take it back a little bit because you say you're from DC. And
Yep.
and and before before the camera started rolling and all that, you were telling me DC. You actually went to an acting school. You actually did the whole LA thing. Like, give us a little backstory on you. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's more to pay you than just stripper fits and fashion. So let's dig a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I went to school, I actually went to school for fashion merchandising.
Okay.
And I wanted to be a fashion designer. Went to FIT in New York.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Yeah, and auditioned for them, did my sketches and my patterns and stuff for them. They told me I wasn't ready. Okay. And so then later on, when I came back home, I was doing the National Conservatory of Dramatic Arts, and
Mhm.
that was acting and stuff like that. Actually, what's her name with the lips? She went there too when they had told her she couldn't act, and then she went out California. It's not. Is it Megan? Megan
Make it
Good?
good.
Is it Megan Good? It's one of them. Yeah, she went to the same school I went to. So,
And they
and then
told
I
her
went
she
out.
couldn't act.
And then she blew up. It's
Wow.
based on perspective, but yeah, I was
Yeah.
there for good years. Then
That.
I went out
Yep.
California.
Okay. So you went out to California chasing the dream of acting? Did you? That's what you went out there
Yeah. Mhm. I done did some shows. I done did some videos. I done did some PSAs. I done did all that.
for?
I got
Okay.
all that under the swap.
And what
Mhm.
happened? Did
The
that run its
movies.
course for you, or you?
Out west is beautiful. Didn't like the food, and I didn't like the fake people. I'm from a city where if I mess with you, I mess with you. I don't, I don't. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna smile in your face just to get something from you. No, I'd rather do it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
But
Like I said, I used to live out there too, doing the entertainment thing, so I get it. I get it.
mm-hmm.
LA is
Already,
like this, huh?
I say you already know.
Yeah, LA is like this. So I love the environment, like the coast, the hills, just the energy is good, right? A lot of people suck. I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of people suck. You have to keep a close knit circle out there and enjoy what LA has to offer with them. You know what I'm saying? Get some just good,
Mm-hmm.
grounded, down to earth folks and go kick it, really, and you can really enjoy yourself out there. Cause I did. I didn't surround myself with much. I mean, I was amongst them, of course. You know what I mean, being in the entertainment industry, but you just got to get your crew. Get a little small clique, and I mean, go
I
have
think
fun.
I like Vegas better.
You like what better?
Vegas. I had my crew in Vegas. My real crew was in Vegas. I would drive back and forth to Cali once I left Cali. I left Cali because I ran out of money. Cali was just too expensive.
Cali. Wait,
And
so you lived in Vegas?
yeah,
I lived in Vegas
yeah.
too.
West Wigwam, right off the strip.
I lived on
Yeah.
Flamingo and Arville, right over there by Rio.
I was great say you over there by them. But yeah, that was a better experience for me. My work wouldn't stop, and then my crew we was feeding each other, but eventually I got homesick.
Oh,
Wanted
you
to
went
come
back to
back to the
DC?
hmm I went back to DC for a while. I don't know, I didn't lived everywhere. And then I came down to Georgia.
Yeah, me too. I done bounced around New York, Cali, Texas, Vegas, all over the place, man. Been just globe trotting. So what brought you down here, and what? Okay, let me ask you this. So you said you've been sewing since the '90s, right? You've been sewing since the '90s. You're doing your thing with the stripper clothing, the exotic dancer clothing, and then what? Did you stop? You went out there to Cali, did your acting thing, all that. You went back to DC. Then you come down here. What brought you down here, and what made you jump back into that?
Well, when I first came down here, I had a
Okay.
spa and salon because I was doing hair. And then after calculating how many clubs it was, I said, well, this might be good for, because when I did it before, it was a hobby. It wasn't anything that I took serious. It was
Right.
something I did when I felt like it,
Okay.
or when I needed to. But once I did some calculations and I was like, well, let me give it a try. And then I went like door to door showing what I could do to every major strip club in the city to see if I
Okay.
could get people buying from me.
Yeah.
And then um, it started rocking. And it started rocking so much that I moved from my living room to my basement, then from my basement out the house. I couldn't have everybody coming to the house.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't do that. Can't give up the
Hmm.
home front. No, hell no. Yeah.
Right, but
So
it's some pros and cons to it, though. It's some pros and cons to it.
talk about
When
it.
you in
Talk
your house,
about it.
when you in your house sewing, you don't have that overhead. Um, but you aren't able to gain as much income either. However, you have to commit to the store when you having a storefront. You
Yeah.
just can't do stuff when you feel like doing it. And then you have to depend on a team. So it's not just you making decisions or you doing something. You got to have other people come in because you just can't do everything by yourself when you have a brick and mortar.
Right.
And then it's some laws and some certificates and licenses you got to get to have
Right.
your own brick and mortar.
So now, when you moved from the house to the store, was that hard for you to kind of relinquish some of those duties to other people, like the trust factor? Because I know a lot of times it's hard to kind of relinquish the duties to people when that's your baby and it was just you doing it. You know what I mean?
Man, it is a growing pain. I fired so many people because they didn't do it like I did. Because it is personal. They say business is business. No, it is personal. It's your reputation, it's how you eat, and then the longevity of something, the
Yeah,
quality of something. You see somebody treating what they wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
exactly.
So somebody treats something you worked hard for and like it's nothing, you do get personal, but you have to learn how to address it and, overcome it because you do need that person,
Right.
and I had to learn that people were working with me and not for me,
Yeah, yeah,
and so
absolutely.
I had to mature in that because I was a stubborn little.
You wasn't in there being a little tyrant, were you?
I mean,
I, I,
somewhat. I'm gonna be honest.
no,
When I
I get
first
it.
got my store,
I
I
get it.
wanted everything to be perfect,
Yeah.
and in the real world, nothing's perfect.
Yeah, and
Nothing's
you have
perfect.
a certain way of doing it because you've been doing it and you know the business inside and out, and you're trying to groom them and make them do it how you would do it. But it don't work that way when you got employees. You can have a standard and a culture and a mission statement, but at the end of the day, you still got to let them be an individual selling your product or doing whatever they doing for you. You know what I'm saying? Can't have robots
Mm,
because then they're not gonna
right,
be happy.
right,
Yeah.
right.
What are some
You
of the
know,
what are some of the challenges in that industry? What's like the competition or what's some of the uphill battles that you had to fight with that?
if if I could go back, I would rename it
Okay.
something more commercial, something more acceptable. Because as far as lending and procurement, as far as capital and stuff like that, sometimes it's a red flag because it's a part, even though I'm selling clothes, it's a part of the adult entertainment industry and they frown on that.
Yeah, yeah. That
Why?
I
I
was
don't
gonna
know, but
ask you. That's funny. That's funny that you say that because I was thinking like, do you? And when I asked you that question, like, what are some of the uphill battles? I was gonna ask you, do you feel like people judge your person when you tell them the name of your store or what you're selling or who
of
you're
course,
catering to? But
of course.
you're clearly saying that they judge you on a business standpoint, but do they judge you as a person as well? Do you feel that?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, and
And
that's
T with that is everybody has a condescending outlook on it.
yeah,
I'm thankful because it paid off my student loan from college, you know?
yeah,
And sometimes the world is unrealistic about what's happening. You can't sell something if nobody's buying it.
absolutely.
And the overall entertainment industry, I don't know a man yet on this planet that hasn't had a bachelor party or went to a birthday party or went to
Yep,
this or went to that and had some type of entertainment.
right.
It's just when it's taken out of context, then
Yep.
it becomes a problem. But you're talking about, yeah, I am affiliated with a type of lingerie, but I'm also affiliated with a type of activewear. I'm right there in the middle.
Yeah.
So to try to explain it, and then I make 90% of my clothes.
Oh wow.
So I had people sewing for me, industrial sewing machines. I graduated from the home machine.
Okay.
So when you're on that level of growing and you're overstanding, yeah, I made that. You know what I'm saying? So I actually sold that. That's not even a prototype. Now
Okay.
that's something that I sourced to
Okay.
add to the boutique,
Okay.
and I was kind of forced to add the boutique so that I could get a little more respect to the name,
Okay.
so people can kind of open their mind about what I actually do, what I actually sell, and then that is okay. It's nothing bad or nothing you'll be punished for.
Yeah. It's
You know.
it's it's crazy because if it's a serviceable industry, what's wrong with servicing it? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get it. I mean, for me personally, exotic dancers go to work just like anybody else does. And to
Mm-hmm.
be honest with you, the majority of the people judging will go there and utilize them services. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Men and women, men and women. But talking to them, you would think that oh my God, that's disgusting, or this and that. You know what I mean? Like, but they're same people will go to a bachelor party and they'll indulge. They'll go to, you know what I'm saying? They'll go out with their friends and go out there and just say, oh, you know, it's just the environment, it's nightlife, we're drinking and this and that. But you're there, and you
Right.
can't tell me you ain't have a couple drinks and smack an ass or two, or you know what I mean? Get you a lap dance, and you know what I mean? Like, come on now. I'm just
Exactly.
being real. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I know. Definitely know what you're
Crazy.
saying.
Yeah, it's crazy,
People
man.
are kind of, they're in the hypocrite box. But
Yeah.
if you see them out in public, oh, no, let nobody know. But what goes on behind door, hush, hush. And then I'm like, well, if this is just about clothes, I was like, come buy your girl some clothes. And then
Exactly.
I got people coming in that's taking pole classes. It's like the industry, I feel like, is overexploited now from what it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of the thing. Everybody want to look and act like one, but don't want to be called one.
It's been commercialized within our culture, pretty much. It's a commercial
Hmm.
thing now. You know what I mean? It's okay to walk around and look like that, but it's not okay when someone's actually doing it and they frowning, and you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
double standard for sure
yeah.
within that realm. Like, it's crazy, man. I'm still blown
And
away by the fact that you sold 90% of your product, because I've seen your storefront and I saw the inventory. That's a lot of stuff.
yeah, when you got industrial machines that stitch 5,000 stitches a minute,
Yeah, dang.
yeah. Um, Usually I keep a repertoire of 400 items a week
Okay, that's
for
crazy.
that side. For the dance wear side.
Okay,
hmm
let's
But
talk.
the thing that I want to say is because the rap game has blew up, so they go hand in foot.
Yeah,
They go hand in foot,
yeah. The
and
rap game has
so
definitely helped out that industry tremendously.
yeah, and vice
Vice,
versa.
I was gonna say vice versa, because they go there to break their
Vice
records.
versa. Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's the first thing they do. Come
yep,
on in the strip clubs. That's how Future got on,
yep,
playing his song in Magic City.
yep.
And the girls get on stage and it ain't nothing to it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But a lot of the times I get that feedback. So I would definitely think of something more commercial, and I've been battling with changing it and stuff like that. But once you done had something so long, I'm like, well, maybe I need to educate people more on it instead of trying to change me to fit, because I don't fit nowhere.
right.
I'd rather educate people on what I do, you know what I'm saying, and how I do it. Because I can make anything, I can sew anything. Once you
Okay.
know how to sew, you can
Yeah.
pretty much sew anything, you
Let me
know.
ask you this.
But
So let me ask you this. I'm sorry to cut you off, but you're talking about you wish you would have named it something differently, right? Is it
hmm
that hard to not get a DBA? Can you just do a doing business as and change the name? Can you not do that?
well, the DBA structure still isn't, LLC really isn't legitimate. Just being a limited liability company, and then you DBA it, you're gonna have to get some responsibility about it anyway. So you will have to change the name.
Okay.
Doing business as just isn't as responsible as, like, right now my company is under a corporation now
Okay.
instead of just by itself.
Right.
And that has helped because the paperwork is in the corporation name. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the corporation DBA in that stripper fit.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to come up with these tactics because it took me, my first location was on Campbellton Road when I first opened. Now I'm over here on Riverdale Road.
Okay.
It took me 2 years to find another location that would accept me based on just the paperwork. They seen the name and they was like, no, we family
That's
orientated, and took
crazy.
me 2 years.
That
Two
is
years.
crazy.
And I have 125 applications and inquiries combined.
That's crazy. All on the
And
name.
it's just right here in this metropolitan area, just right here. I
All
didn't even
over a
go far
name.
from my customer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's just
Yep,
sad. That's sad. That's so
it
sad.
is. But it's the truth. It's the truth.
But
And
I,
it gets discouraging, and I have changed my name twice and then I changed it back, you know.
so
I've
did it?
tried to use two different names
Okay.
and
Did it
had
hurt
to
your
change it.
business when you changed the name?
But people wasn't responding to it,
Okay. I mean,
you know,
at the
and
end of the day, sometimes you just gotta call it what it is, right?
right.
Cause I'm
And
pretty
that's what I did. So people could be clear. Let's be
right,
clear.
and I'm pretty
So,
sure they see that from the street side and be like, oh yeah, I need that, and they come in there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I have all kinds of women coming to me, that want to
yeah,
do something for their husband, their
yup.
boyfriend, their girlfriend. They want to have a girls' night out, bachelorette party. Everybody
Yeah.
want to
I was
be a
gonna say
stripper
that,
for
man. The name alone, I'm pretty sure makes people curious who've never really
them. Hmm.
dove into that world, and they want to go in there and see. And then they gonna get them
Hmm.
a couple of pieces for their man, and they gonna try it out. You know what I'm saying? And then they might get
Right,
intrigued to go do some pole
right,
dancing classes. So they can't. It goes hand in hand.
right, right. They came up there one time. Was like, "What time do y'all open?" I'm like, "We're open now, sweetie." And she thought it was a strip club. I was like, "No, I sell clothes, strip club. Ain't no strip club." But it
Oh,
does. It's. I'm thankful. I'm grateful, but it gets exhausting sometimes. It gets exhausting.
I mean, listen. I hate the word small business, but you're a small business owner, and you're doing it from the ground up. You grinding it out. Yeah, it's gonna get exhausted. It's gonna because it's all on you. With the help of
Right.
a few people, but it's all on you. But don't, just keep pushing. It'll work out for you. It's working out. So you just gotta stick it through. Let me ask you, do are there trade shows like the Magic
Yep.
Convention for
Yep.
those clothes? How does that work?
Yep.
Can you go there and sell wholesale to vendors and get contracts and stuff like that to grow?
It is exactly like the Magic. You set up your booth, and they have it's the sex trade shows where the Hugh Hefner and the
Okay.
Playboy bunnies and all those people come in with their type of products and stuff like
Okay.
that, and you pay for your thing and advertise and market and you know sell um pre-orders.
Okay. Is that the
So
same
it
weekend? Is that the same weekend in Vegas when like they have that big porn convention out there and all that type of stuff? Because I know it mixes
yeah,
and mingles with the
yeah,
strippers.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't. I was a part of a video one. One of my friends here went, and then she allowed me to watch while she walked through and talked to people. But I kind of got a gist of it because I used to model for Magic too. Used
Okay.
to do hair, nails,
Girl, you've been doing
shoes, and
everything.
all that. So it's the same layout. Yup, it's the
Okay.
same layout, just different products.
Oh,
They have the toys and novelties at the convention though.
yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And what's
Yeah,
marketing?
I don't sell that. I don't sell that. I'm just
Just
women's apparel.
just the clothes. You ain't playing the playthings. Ain't just.
And I'm working on the shoes. I'm working on the shoes.
Oh,
Girls
you
need
work.
shoes now.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh man, they definitely
Yeah.
gonna come up in there for the shoes. You know that.
Yup. Gotta
Yeah.
hit them hard. Gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? Where the money reside, where the money reside. Gotta get them.
Yeah.
But that's a part of learning your business because the business will push you to do what you need to do for the business, any business. And this is my seventh business, you know,
Okay.
um, and everything leads you to the next level,
Right.
you know.
How has
So,
marketing been for you? Do you utilize the dancers to market your clothing? And would that be like kind of like with a marketing campaign, or would it just be word of mouth, Instagram type of thing if you do use them?
So, as far as marketing, when the girls buy outfits from me, I say tag me or put me in your story, and then I repost you on my page.
Hmm.
But everything else is the same way, just regular marketing, except for it's how I word stuff. I can't say stripper clothes. I can't say
Right.
stripper too much. I have to say sexy, exotic,
Yeah.
dance, wear, and stuff like that. And it's Facebook, all the social media, my website, word of mouth, flyers, everything. Working on a commercial and
Okay.
stuff like that. So, all around the board, every angle. And hopefully in the near future, I'll be having a book that people can read and follow and give them that detailed information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because learning on your own, that trial and error can wear you out.
I mean,
Man, that
7 businesses in, girl. I'm pretty sure you got you pretty much got the hang of it by now,
well, this is my seventh business, but this is the first time I'm in this industry.
huh? Okay.
Before I was in real estate and cargo vanning and
Okay.
doing stuff like that and spas and salons. So this is more challenge. This has been more challenging than any other business that I've operated and owned,
Okay.
just because the nature of the beast. Just
Yeah.
because of the beast.
How were you
You
able to
know,
how were you able to find your sources? I know you say you source clothes. Don't you ain't got to give your plug or nothing like that. But just for people watching who may want to even just do clothing, period, and just are trying to source and are having a hard time finding quality, finding people who are dependable. You know what I mean? How were you able to do that? Was that a difficult task for you?
I had a mentor that when I first started sewing seriously, he took me to New York and I learned about the fashion district and the
Okay.
fabric.
Yeah.
You got to know your fabric because it's not the same as textiles. Everything has to stretch,
Okay.
because you have natural body types, you have build a body types, and then you have no body types.
Mm.
So you have to have one garment that's able to stretch and fit all those body types. And
Okay.
then I sourced them through, Alibaba, AliExpress,
Okay.
different Chinese vendors and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
most of the time, I would see something first and then I would buy it.
Okay.
So they could get a hold of some samples or something. And
Right.
they can start at their local stores like Joann's and all of those places that sell fabric retail and get some insight on it. And then
Okay.
go from there because everybody get their stuff from the same place.
Okay. Now, do you ever see yourself like scaling your business into like a luxury lingerie brand or anything like that? Because I know you do have like regular lingerie and clubwear. Is that correct?
I do. I
Okay.
do. Um, and it is a lingerie line that I'm thinking about being my muse. They have the next level in lingerie, very very high quality. But I'm gonna see because they're in Canada, so I need to see if the market down here is susceptible to that. If a woman would pay $300 for some garters, you know what I'm saying? In
Okay.
case people know it's the pieces that go around the thighs
Okay. Girl, you
that
need
they
to.
use when they throw them at the wedding.
Yeah, you might have to get you a little boutique in Buckhead for that price. For that demographic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Not to say that
Mhm.
some of us wouldn't buy it, but you know, you got to go to your demographic of what you're trying to get,
Right,
the price point.
right.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
man.
it's definitely something I'm considering. But like the prices of the outfits range anywhere from $30 to $150,
Okay.
depending on what it is.
You talking about the
So
lingerie that you're talking about, or you talking about what
I'm
you have now?
talking about my inventory now, the
Okay.
the dance.
Okay. Well, I mean, oh yeah, I mean, I didn't think about that too. Dancers getting to the money now, so
Mhm.
they getting to the
Yeah, they
money.
get it.
I see
I
that.
think I think they get to the money.
You don't think some getting to the money? You don't think some of them get to the money?
Well, the way that things are structured now in today's time. Let me just be clear. I'm an OG.
Okay, I
I'm
got you.
retired OG.
I
I
got you.
retired in '09.
Okay.
So, our average nights wasn't what they have to dance in a pile and split what they get.
Okay.
You know, And right now you have the boxers and the rappers coming in. You
Mm,
know, back then we had a different set of guys coming in.
okay, I got you. I got you.
So it wasn't nothing to do it on a everyday basis instead of a once in a month or once a blue moon.
Right.
Like the girls down on KLD, okay, y'all got 20,000 on the floor for one night this month. Okay,
Y'all were doing that
okay,
all the
a
time.
day. So wait a minute, what money? IRS listening.
Right. Straight home to the safe.
Yes.
Trust me, I get it. I get it. Oh
Yeah.
man, that is crazy. So, all right, all right, tell me how much you want to divulge, but I'm gonna go there. So, tell me a little bit about, since you're OG, tell me a little bit about how it even works in the clubs, and as far as, how can I put this? So for you, you say you're OG, you're out of that, right? But you still
Hmm.
service that industry. So
Hmm.
just for you, when you were back then working, what was like the life expectancy of a dancer in a club? And what I'm saying is, the ones who want the lifers, there's some people, because I've been to clubs and there was women in there 50 years old, right? No judgment. But there's girls that have an agenda. You know, they going in there, they trying to put themselves through school, or they trying to start a business, or whatever they trying to do. They're just trying to take care of their kids or whatever. But what's kind of like the life expectancy of a dancer who comes in there with a plan to exit?
So, so in reality, because I was one of those, I danced after college.
Okay.
So when you, it's another word. It's the only job in the world you can have where you can party and make your money. Basically, you're in a party environment for 8 to 10 hours,
Right.
depending on you. So usually people are playing 2 to 5.
Okay.
Once the money start coming in, that time roll past quick. You get used to certain caveats. I done been to 27 countries and I ain't in the military. So once for real, once that money start rolling in, you start changing your plans because the thing is when you have the finances to be free and do what you want to do, invest how you want to invest,
Yeah.
you start looking at, okay, well, wait a minute, let me do this.
Right.
And then you do it. Then you like, okay, well, wait a minute, let me do that. Then you do that. Then you like, oh, this is getting easy. I'm telling you, in my run, I never, most of my bills was paid at the first of the month off. They were all paid off at the first of the month for months at a time.
Dang.
People ain't doing that. You know,
Ah, they blowing.
they were making more than a senior doctor or a senior lawyer, and we wound up in the rooms with some of them. So
Mm,
yeah,
I already
it,
know.
it
That's
was
what I'm
fun.
saying. I already
It was fun.
know.
It was fun going to the games and the shows, and because everybody likes lovely ladies around,
Exactly.
polite, respectful, lovely ladies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was definitely an experience.
And
Is nothing like it. Nothing like it.
so I got two questions. Were you down here or were you in DC? You don't have
I
to
was
answer that.
all over the United States.
Okay. I was gonna say
I
you don't
was
have to
in
answer that if you don't want to.
Texas. I was in Miami. I was in Detroit. I was in Philly, New York. I was where the money reside. That's where I was going.
Girl, you was like a traveling nurse.
Yup.
Nursing them
I had that
pockets.
dance bag ready. That's the only thing I was carrying on the plane. That's the only thing.
Oh
Yes.
man, you were nursing them
But
pockets,
Atlanta was
girl.
my second home. Atlanta has always been my second home. I
Okay,
used to love Georgia back in the day. I'm so mad at it now.
it's
Back
different.
in the day, Georgia was beautiful.
Yeah, it's different.
Beautiful.
It's definitely different
Beautiful.
now. Now, I was gonna ask you too, um, as far as, because I know, like you said, some of them get the money and it goes, and they don't invest, or they don't start a business. They just don't know what to do with it. For you, like your mindset, you went to college and whatever. Did you have the financial literacy to say, okay, I'm making all this money, I got this, let me put this aside, let me do this, but I'm still gonna travel the world, get all these experiences while I got this coming in? Or did you learn along the way?
Well, I'm learning now financial literacy.
Okay.
At that time, I learned what my mom and them knew was to save and then put money aside for the rainy day.
Right.
I did invest some. I did have other businesses. Like I said, I did real estate and did a couple of houses and got my mom a house and bought my mom a house and fixed my grandmama house. So I thought I knew what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just now learning, about land
Yeah.
deeds
Yeah.
and, I always knew about Roth, IRAs and stuff like that. But when you need something tangible now that's going to make you that money that you can put in those things that's going
Yeah.
to sit, those products that's
Yeah.
going to sit, you need to get that first.
See,
I don't
and
care what nobody out here telling nobody, oh, you need to do this. No, you need to get your money up first.
yeah.
Money talk before anything else.
Yeah. See,
Money
that's the
talk before
thing. We were
anything
always
else.
taught. We were always just taught to save. We weren't taught how to make that money work for you. You get
Mm-hmm.
all the money. What you gonna do with it? You get the good credit. What are you gonna do with it? How you gonna leverage the credit to make you more money? How you
Mm-hmm.
gonna use your credit to get the bank's money to make you more money, and you
Mm-hmm.
never have to touch your money. We were never taught that.
Yeah.
It's like
I
you
got
said.
I got to disclose something that I just recently learned that I'm pissed about. I had bought a 4-unit apartment building back in DC, way, way back.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that I didn't even have to buy it with my money. I
Nope.
could buy it
Nope.
for the rent and the projected rent and adding something to it. You know how
Yep.
ridiculous that would have been?
Yes.
That would have been so, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And a lot of girls don't. And I'm gonna be honest, there is pros and cons to that because people that are um how can I say this? People that have addictions, they're gonna have addictions no matter what environment they in.
Yep.
And sometimes those addictions supersede. You can have a good girl, she just graduated school and she trying to take care of her daughter, and that addiction, oh, so I seen a lot of that too. Or dudes, I seen that with dudes too. They come in there, watch them all night long, and I done seen some stuff. It's crazy. And the girls make their money and then just take their money to the dude. And I'm not talking about no pimps. I'm talking about their actual boyfriends. Like they
Oh,
just,
wow.
yeah, yeah,
That's
and they be torn
crazy.
down from that. So, sometimes, and then you get a lot of money quick. It's overnight. It's
Yeah.
not no 2, 3 years. It's overnight. You cute, they like you. You gonna get more money. Man, my first time my cousin took me to a club, I was fully dressed, just getting people Coronas. I walked out of there with $300, fully dressed, getting Coronas. I wasn't even a waitress. I was just like, you need a Corona pop, and they give me $5 in,
Are you
$3 in, $10
serious?
in. I walked out there balled up with ones, $300 of ones, getting Coronas, and I
Wow.
was like, dang, how much money am I getting? Get out here and start lap
Right.
dancing.
Right.
Yep.
Start shaking something. Shoot. What? I
Yep.
saw I'm getting off subject real quick, but I did see your storefront and you said no cash accepted. Is that because you don't want them coming in there with all them ones?
No, that was the previous owner. It's off now.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate. My bank be looking for me. They be like, all right, they know my business and everything. Everything. They make way. They was like, let her walk to the back. They make way. But what money? Us listening, what money? No money here.
That's what's
But yeah. Yeah, yeah, for real.
That's what's up, man. I always wondered that, that question I asked you about, kind of like the life expectancy and just people getting in and getting out. Because I mean, I've I actually worked in property management. I was talking to a dancer. She lived there in the building that I worked at, and she didn't have any money management skills. All her money was in her closet, right? And she came in
Mm-hmm.
crying one day because she had a family function. Check this out. Man, this is crazy. She had a family function, and I think she had about $80,000 in her
Mm-hmm.
closet, and somebody went in there and stole it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Stole it. So I'm sitting there talking to her, and I'm just like, yo. And she's telling me, she's like, but I don't want to report it because I just don't really even understand, the taxes and all that and this and that. I just don't want to get in trouble, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, well, you do understand that, yeah, you can do the cash game, right? But if you do eventually want to buy a house, right? And you go and you put all this cash on there, now you're documented. So they're gonna want to
Mm-hmm.
know where that came from. So I'm like, you gotta do it the right way. You can claim some, dash some,
Mm-hmm.
but just claim it. Be smart about it. Claim enough so that you know if you need to get a house, you got this money set aside. Boom, 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 and you can account for that. Whatever. I was just telling her, like, you gotta exist in this ecosystem if you want to go and buy some things later down the line and do it the right way. And I was just teaching her about bank accounts and all this type of stuff, and she just bawling because she didn't know. She really didn't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you were
Right.
saying, some girls just don't know, and she had no
They do.
clue. No clue.
And so because man, they be coming to me talking to me about everything. You are a business, so go ahead and get yourself registered as a business.
Yep.
You're an entertainer. You're
Yeah.
just like Two Chains and all of them. You're an
Yeah.
entertainer. Got a fictitious name. Put
Yep.
everything down,
Write
and
it off.
then give yourself a salary out of your business.
Yep.
Give the natural person a salary out of your business.
Absolutely.
So, so you can. I had a sad story like that too, where one of the young ladies was working and she got 100 grand, and she wound up passing over that. Her boyfriend killed her and took her money.
Stop playing.
Yeah, over 100 grand. He killed her, took her money, and was on the run. And then they finally caught him and locked him up. And when you getting that cash so fast, it's better to put it in money orders or something until you can put it somewhere and overstand. But the easiest thing is to go to the bank and ask a question. Sit
Yeah.
down with somebody. Ask. You have to be able to strategize
Right.
smart enough to have your own back.
Yeah.
Because when people see it, that's not a lot of money. Not to me. 100 grand ain't a lot of money. But when people see it in ones, it's gonna look
It's gonna.
like it's more than what it is.
Yeah. It's gonna look
You
crazy.
know.
It's gonna look
Mhm.
crazy. And
And
here's the thing too. You can't be afraid to just do the right thing or do it. Just do it the right way. You're not gonna get in trouble for doing it the right way. Just because you don't
mhm,
know and you ignorant, don't
mhm.
mean you're gonna get in trouble. You just go and get right. At the end of
Right.
the
Find the
day,
answers.
right. Go and
The
get right.
answers.
But a lot of people just be afraid to be like, I ain't going. I ain't telling them what I got. This and that, the third. But literally, if you want something later down the line, you come in there dropping
Mhm.
cash. That's gonna raise eyebrows, and they're gonna want to know anyway.
Right. And then it's nothing you don't have anything to lose by going and talk to. You don't have to tell them what you have. You don't have to tell them
Exactly.
anything. You just
Exactly.
want to know. Well, hypothetically, if a person has this type of yeah, if a person had this type of money, what can they do with it to make sure that it takes care of them and it works for them?
Right.
You know, and I'm very inquisitive, so that's why I was able to move things around the way I did.
Yeah.
You
How?
know,
How well, let me ask you this: how long was your run? How long? Let me ask you this:
mm,
two questions. What was your plan, and did you supersede that because you said the money was good? Some people stay longer. What was your plan?
um, the plan changed as time went on. My first plan was basically when I came home from college, I was homeless, so I had to get a place, I had to get a car, my hair was falling out, just stressed out. At 20 something years old, you don't know where your meal gonna come from and all that kind of
Yep.
stuff. That's just the hand that I was dealt. And then after that plan, I got a place and I got a car in a month for dancing.
Dang, that's crazy.
Then after that plan, I was like, okay, well, my mom need a house. Got my mom her house.
E-
Okay, well, my grandmother need her house fixed up. Okay. All right. Now it's time to buy some properties for myself. My run was about 15 years.
Hey, that was a hell of
The
a
average,
run.
the average dancer's run is about 10.
Okay.
If she gets in and builds a reputation for and herself, and people invite her to events like these people like, Lovely Mimi, she from around where
Mm,
I'm from, to get invited to, you know, host something,
right.
you get 5, 10. I mean, as a dancer, they'll give you 5 or 10, but somebody like that, probably 20,000, you
Right.
know. And then it becomes a point where they host and everything, and then if they perform, then it's in the middle of the stage where people come and tip, but they can't touch and stuff like that on your way out. Because that's what I did on my way out. I hosted and I did all this other different stuff when
Okay.
I felt, it
Okay.
was over with.
I mean,
But if a girl keeps her head on straight and stay focused, she could really do some things and then get out of it, you know, because it's a beauty industry. So as long as you pretty and you keep yourself up, like, I mean, people think I'm 25.
I mean, whatever your age is, you look good for your age. So you did something right on your run. You kept yourself right.
I ate a lot of grapes. I eat a lot of fruit, watermelon. But
Kept yourself hydrated.
yeah, but also when you don't have that stress, that financial stress that keeps you young too. When you have the money to support yourself and help the people around you,
Hmm.
I've been having people work for me since I can't even recall, you know.
Yeah.
That keeps you a little younger than constantly having to hit a clock and constantly having to,
Yep.
that cycle
Yeah.
different. I've
Absolutely.
never really the longest I've had an actual job is 90 days. I never had a job.
That's what's up.
I've always been an entrepreneur. Always.
Hey man, kudos to you. You did your thing. You doing your thing. So just continue, man, for real. What's self analysis? What's one thing you feel that you could be doing better to get you to where you're going, or something you should be doing, or you want to do, or could do to get you to where you're going? Self
To
analysis.
be 100,
Yeah.
to
Be
be
100.
100,
Yeah. What's up?
man, I'm on my 10th life. I done survived 9 lives and I'm on my 10th life. Man, I do it the same way all over again. Get a bag and I mess it up. Get a bag and I mess it up. Get a bag and I mess it up. Because when you landed, this is something that I recently went through last year. When you landed on your deathbed, you not thinking about the things you have. You not thinking about anything but your family, your friends, your loved ones, matter of the heart and matter of the mind. Everything else doesn't even matter.
Mm,
So that's why I say I just blow it up because I have lived my life to the point where what I got in here and what I have in here, I can be good with, go out. So
yeah.
money is currency. This would be my fourth go around with it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change nothing. I wouldn't change nothing. Let me get a bag now. I'll call you when I'm ready to blow it up. I'm trying to tell you. Let me get another bag now. People talk about, well, I want to leave a legacy for my child. You don't even know if your child want to do what you leaving behind.
Yeah.
Most people leave stuff behind and what happened? The family what? Sell it.
Yep. Yep.
They
Especially with
don't
a piece
keep
of
it.
property.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then you like, okay, well, I'm gonna make sure they good. Guess what? Out of society standards, you always gonna be trying to make sure they good. But you know what's really making sure they good? They eating good, they clean,
Mm-hmm.
they got heat or air, shelter, clothes. Listen, I come from the projects. I grow up hard. where we had to stand around the table and eat. That's the quality of life. This
Yeah.
fellowship with your kindred, your amongst your kind. All this other stuff that this is all in the matrix. It ain't real. It
Yeah,
ain't real.
a lot of this
It
stuff
ain't
is
real.
real, man. A lot of this stuff does not
Once
matter.
you obtain it, you see what I'm saying?
Say that again. It
A
broke.
lot of people work to get to a certain number. I apologize. I know you
No,
was
you
trying to say something.
no. I was saying it broke up a little bit, so I asked you to repeat yourself.
Oh, we in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? They making things that's non-important important, and the things that's important non-important.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Just even on, I'm gonna just say in America, black men and black women. You know,
absolutely.
we had way more love for. I done been on this earth for a couple seasons. We had way more. Listen, I used to get them little cards with yes, no, maybe on it. You see what
Yes,
I'm saying?
indeed. Yes, indeed.
So, I mean, we could get all the money in the world, but honestly, I wish that we didn't. And I wish everybody stayed where they need to stay and they mind their business. Don't go over into Europe. Let the Europeans stay in Europe. When I could walk down the street and my neighbor be like, better not go too far. I'm going to tell your mother. That's what I miss.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what I miss.
Yeah, man. Nobody's looking
That's
out.
what,
It's hard nowadays. You can't even really let your kids go outside and play and be comfortable and know that they gonna come home if you ain't got an eye on them nowadays. You know what I mean? I ain't saying people weren't kidnapping and doing crazy things back in the day, but it's not like how it is now, man. Like
everything crazy.
it's
Everything
just
crazy.
it's too much going on. I say it all the time, man. I think we're so smart, we're dumb. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, man. Knock on wood with that one.
we self-destructing, man. We doing way too much. I'm talking about freezing cells and freezing people and freezing Walt Disney and all this and try to bring people back and cloning it. You're doing too much, man.
Mhm.
Look, when my body run its course, let me go to the maker. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I ain't trying to
Mhm.
wake up 300 years later or 200. You know what I mean? No, I ain't trying to do all that.
And be the only one you know
Be the only one
yourself.
I know, the only one I can
You
relate
just
to.
looking
Like
around.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. And you know what
Oh,
else
oh,
out of the
you
community?
owe me
Huh?
an alien story.
I'll just tell you. Okay, yeah. And you got to tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to share yours too. But I want to say this before we get into the alien story.
Okay.
God has been taken out of society too. Like, really, where's the church? Yeah, there's the church, but these kids aren't growing up knowing the church, knowing the Lord. I don't know where that went because when I grew up, I don't care if you went to church or not. Yeah, it was just kind of like reinforced in society. God was present. You know what I'm saying? Even in the media, even in
Mhm.
schools when I was growing up. I mean, you damn near can't even get a pledge in a school. Not that that means anything. I can't even compare that to God, but I'm just saying it's crazy. Like everything's being stripped, and it's almost like it's just everyone for themselves, and everybody's directing their own lives, and they're being responsible for their own lives. In a sense, yes, we all are, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
is all. You know, I mean, God is the maker. God is, but that's
It's a
being.
higher purpose.
Let's talk about aliens. Let's talk about aliens before we get out of here. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
told me so you started this, so you gotta jump this thing off. So you were saying that there was a lot of sightings about some roach-looking figure with a backpack running around Atlanta, and you are telling me that you saw this thing
Listen.
outside your window.
Yes, yes, I did. I did see it. I wasn't hallucinating. I don't drink much, so I wasn't drinking. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs, so it wasn't nothing. Did this daggone phone move?
I told you it jumps and then it gets a little fuzzy and then it jumps back and then it's clear. Don't worry about it. I've been doing it the whole time. It's all good. I can still see you. We
Listen.
can still see you. It's all good.
Okay,
I told you, but
okay.
listen, tomorrow you need to go on down there. You know what to do. Come on now.
Ooh, don't come for me in my phone. Don't come for me in my phone.
You know
But
what to do.
no, it was like last year sometime, and I was in the house. I was predominantly in the house, and it was one middle of the night before the sun really, really set. It was like in between dark and light, because it get dark down here a little later
Yeah.
than other places. And I was like, I heard something. So then I went and rolled up my blinds, and like right in the middle between my building and my neighbor's building, it was a hovering, it looked like a roach. It just was dark. It looked like a roach, a bug, or something with legs and a backpack. And it was just hovering. It was just hovering, standing there. And I was like, Ma, I called my mother. I was like, Ma,
Oh,
I'm fighting to the death. It's
hell
gonna be in
no.
my nails. They're gonna compensate my body and take it to Area 51 or whatever. I said, because it's right outside my window. I was like, how do I get her on this so she can see it? And she was like, close the window, close the window,
Hell
close the
nah.
shade. Like, that's not going to do it. But as soon as I turned my back, it just disappeared. And it was like 1,000 of them. Like, do some archives, I promise you. It was like
That's
last year around
crazy.
February sometime.
Last year, so 2022 in February, some hovering little roach was outside your
Yep,
window with a backpack. So,
yep.
and it
I
was
know
like,
what a roach looks
but
like.
it was life size. Like it was like a man, like a.
Like it was bigger than a average person. It was like a basketball player size,
Oh
not like Shaq
hell.
or Matumbo, but one of them big 6, 7
And was it
footers.
standing vertically or was it
It
horizontally?
was just like this, just hovering, just like this, like the legs hanging and suspended in midair.
Stop playing.
And I was like, I just kept opening my eyes, and by the time I tried to put that video phone on my mom, I looked and it was gone. And I know my neighbors had to see it. I know because he always spying on me. I know they had to see
He
it.
always spying on you.
Yes, my neighbors always trying to look at my windows like, mind your business. Mind your
Hell
business.
no, you got peeping toms and flying roaches outside your
Yup,
window. So this is
yup,
on the news. I can go Google this.
yup. Go Google it, put it in, look it up, and I believe it's February. It's either end of January or beginning of February.
I'm gonna go
It's
look that up
January,
tonight.
February, something like that.
All right, so
Mm-hmm.
look. Back in the day, I used to live in Vegas, like yourself. I used to do
Mm-hmm.
construction for a little stint. Wasn't too long, but I was working out. Um, like if anybody's familiar with Vegas, I was working out in, like the Blue Diamond area before there was houses and communities out there, right? So it was a construction site out there. I was out there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's known that even over Arizona, because what's crazy is I'm gonna tell you, it's known for people to see like lights that'll appear near the mountains and then they
Mm-hmm.
just disappear and then they'll pop up across the sky on the other side of Vegas over the mountain range, just like a split second, right? So I'm out
Mm-hmm.
there and I look up and there's like three of us sitting there watching this, and I look up and I see like they just start popping up like bloop bloop, lights just like popping up bloop 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 in a row, right? Popping up bloop 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 bloop, and you could just tell they're hovering, just hovering, and then a light will
It
go
wasn't an
out.
airplane.
No, it wasn't no airplane. It was just sitting there hovering, but the lights were coming on one at a time. Boop 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 boop, hovering, like horizontally, lined up, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
the lights were just like go, boom 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 boom, go, and they were gone. And then you looked across the sky to the other mountain range, and there they were. And then it would do it again, boop 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 boop, and then it's just sitting over the city. So it's crazy because I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, that's them lights they've been talking about. So I go home, right? And I turn on the
Uh-huh.
news to see if there's anybody reporting about it. And I saw a news telecast out of Arizona reporting it. Not even in
Okay.
Vegas, just Arizona reporting it. I don't know how the hell I was looking at the Arizona news, but it was some new. I know because I went online. I do believe I went online because I didn't see anything on the newscast at home. So I went online and I saw a newscast for the same night. It was a news broadcast for the same night in Arizona, seeing the same lights, doing the same exact thing that I saw, and then I never heard about it ever again, and that was wiped offline. You can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
that's my
believe
thing.
it. I believe it.
Yeah. And you know, Area 51's close out there, so ain't no telling.
Right.
Ain't no,
What's going on?
yeah, ain't no telling.
But
But it
they
was real,
gotta be
man.
like thinking we ain't the only. You can't if you believe in deities, you believe in God, you believe in a high band, then you have to know this ain't everything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh, and let me add this too. As those lights were hovering, one would come down, one would go up, one it come back to the middle, go back up. It would do that from time to time too, and then they would start disappearing quickly, like, and then show up right across the sky at another mountain range within a split second, just like that. They just took off.
They've been picking some stuff up,
Man, they might have
picking
been
some stuff.
abducting somebody or something. I
Hmm.
don't know. I have no idea. But that's my story. And yeah, it's real. Real. I
And
mean, I've
it
always believed in
disappeared.
it. Huh?
Huh?
No, I was
I
saying I've
said it.
always believed in it, but that was my
Mm,
first time really seeing it for myself, you know?
encountering it.
Yeah, it wasn't natural. That was not a plane. That was nothing that we made. I tell you that. That was nothing we made. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Not to move that fast. Hell no. Ain't no way. And to do what it was
Hmm.
doing up there, just hovering and then moving up and down and disappearing, nah, hell no. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
believe you.
that's my story. I'm sticking to it. It's real. You probably won't find it online. I don't know. Maybe you could now, but it did disappear. After I saw it that night online, it was gone. And anybody I told, I was like, yo, go check it out. Couldn't find nothing. Not one word. You know, we living in these
Got
times.
wiped off. It got wiped off. They wipe off what they want to wipe off.
Oh, hell yeah.
It got
And they
wiped
promote what
off.
they want to.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
control us.
And
They
speaking
control.
of promote, Stripper Fitz, 5453 Riverdale Road,
Hmm.
Atlanta, Georgia, 30349. StripperFitz.com or at Stripper Fitz on IG.
Yes. It's right there
Perfect
in the
time.
lower third. You can't see it, but I got it right there in the lower third at Stripper Fits. I got all the links in the description of the show. Y'all check it out. Check the website out. You got the address. Hey, if you need, listen, man, if you just want to play with your guy, there it is. You know what I mean? You just want to play.
You know you gonna get banned for that statement. You gonna get banned for that statement. Oh my God. It's a good way to end the night. It's a good way to end the night.
I'm just saying,
Oh
go
my
check her out. If you just want to, you might not be privy to that whole industry, but if you just want to play,
goodness.
she's your
Right.
girl. Go holler at her.
Yep, I got something for everybody.
Yeah, see, she got regular lingerie, she got club wear, and then she got that, she got that thing too. So you know what I mean?
Mhm.
There it is. You want to get a little nasty? There you go.
Wait a minute, I ain't got no whips and no chains or nothing like that. Don't be having these people come up to my store looking for masks and stuff like that. Listen, this is not 50 Shades of Grey.
No, 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 no. It's very tastefully done. I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, I showed. It's tastefully done. It's nothing raunchy.
Yeah,
It's nothing raunchy.
I
Yeah.
got extra stretchy stuff.
There you go. See? There it
Extra
is.
stretchy.
There it is. I ain't even gonna ask this.
Why is you always cracking up? I'm about
Nah,
to get you.
nah, just
What
having a
you
good
gonna ask
time.
me before we leave? Cause it is 11 o'clock at night. What we doing?
Huh? What's up?
I said, what you gonna ask me before we leave? Cause it
Nah,
is
I
11.
ain't even gonna go there, man. Nah, cause I know
It
you have it.
is.
I was just gonna ask you, did you have a certain piece? But I know you have it, cause it's the obvious. So we gonna leave that alone. All right, ladies. If you want to be a little plaything for your man, go holler at Pehlla. She has everything you need. We ain't talking about no whips, no chains, no toys. We just talking about, some little sexy stuff, what I mean? Get a little cute for your man and all that.
Some little seductive garments
There you go.
that you can entertain your man with.
There you go. She got you.
Entertainment.
And she's always
Yes,
running
yes.
deals too. Always running deals.
Mhm.
Spend a certain amount,
Yeah.
you get 50% off. I think she's still running that. Don't let me overstep, but I think she
Mhm.
is. She's always got deals, so you definitely check her out. And she's hardworking and hustling. Support black business.
Thank you. Somebody said preach. Somebody
Support black
said
business.
yeah.
Well, you know, I'll be around. I'll always be supporting you. You gotta, support it for life. You can ask anybody. Once you got me, I'm gonna support for sure. Share whatever you post and all that good stuff. We'll keep in touch. All that. All right.
Yes,
So
yes. Thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I was nervous at first. I'm like, well, maybe I need to
oh
tone it down or something. So we
no,
all adults on here, so it's
oh
good
no,
to go. I'm
no,
good
no.
to
Be yourself with me. Transparency is key, and it's just a good conversation, and we kicking it. You know what I mean? So ain't no need to be nervous here. It's all good.
go. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Did the camera mess up again? I
Huh?
don't know. All right.
No. You clear now. You back to yeah. You back. It was
Okay.
jumping. It was jumping in and out from time to time, but we got
Mhm.
through it. It's all good. It was never a bad picture, but you could see it blurred up a little bit. But yeah, you know what to do tomorrow. Go and take that Android down there, girl. Get the upgrade.
You
I
can
got, I
leave my
got you.
Android alone. I'm
I,
Team Droid for life. It worked when I needed to work. Shoot. Got to keep
yeah.
these expenses down.
Hey, listen. As long as it's handling the business for you, don't even worry about the
Mm,
picture. You know what I mean?
right, right,
For real, for
right.
real. But hey, no, listen, on a serious tip, I really appreciate you coming on, spending time with your boy, kicking it, and just, allowing me to shine the light on everything that you got going on. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate that, for real.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you,
And then
thank
we
you.
may have to do another interview later down the line, do a follow up, when you
Okay.
just check in on you, see what you're doing, man. I know you're gonna be doing great things. I know you're gonna scale your business and all that. Hey, get to them shows, girl. Get to the trade shows. Get them
Mhm.
orders in. Let's blow it
You
up.
coming?
Larger than life.
You coming? You keeping them distracted. Because you gotta bring man candy to these little events to keep the women distracted. So you can be like, oh yeah, that looks lovely. Oh yeah, that's a lovely piece. That's all that is lovely. That's what I need you there to do.
Nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. You're gonna have to get
You
and find somebody, just bring them along. I can't do that though.
there. They'd be like, "Oh, all right, let's listen to him. All right, because men can sell salt to a slug and they'll buy it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, that's vice versa. So it goes both ways. It goes both ways. You know how it go.
in different arenas,
Yeah, for
in
sure.
different arenas. When I had a male manager, he sold more outfits than my female
Yeah. You were selling what you were selling now?
manager.
Okay, yeah. Cause
Mhm.
I mean, did he look good? Was he a good looking brother?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why they were interested in
Mhm.
him and the outfit. You
Mhm.
know how it go. Same thing, vice versa. But yeah, make sure you get to them trade shows. Get you a little man thing out there. Draw him on in for you. Stand in front of the booth. You can dress him up like a Chippendale. You know what I mean? Draw
Oh,
him
well,
all.
no, indeed, no, indeed. He got to put a suit on with me by
Nah, I
got to
feel
put a
you.
suit on, had the head down. We got to look like,
You gotta look
you
like
know.
something. Nah, I get it. I get it. But hey,
Yeah.
listen, I really appreciate you, man. You guys, you know where I'm at every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, kicking it with someone like Pehlla. Y'all make sure you check her out. Everything's in the description, so you know where to find her. All right, peace and love. We are out of here. I appreciate you, Pehlla.
Peace.
Yes.
Appreciate you
Until
too.
next time, we out.
Bye.